was listening to the talks given and the music, and you know, I was trying to think, what if anything I could add? No, I mean that. I mean, you know, the conversation on gratitude is, you know, a complete path into itself. You know, that I can see in my own meanderings and my own thoughts that being thankful for just this life is sufficient. It will be tested all the time. But a real gratitude, not a Facebook gratitude, which is more narcissism than gratitude. You know, Facebook is, this is what's good has happened to me, look at how great I am, here are these wonderful experiences I've had. It's like a narcissist hall of fame. And contributes almost nothing, because gratitude is an experience of humility. Real gratitude is a very quiet, humble sense of our smallness, and understanding how much of a privilege it is that we have to experience this amazing world. And it's not about the small signposts of our own importance that we shout out to the world. Like, I got this job, I got this promotion, I got this, I, me. That ain't the power of gratitude. It's, wow. This consciousness got a chance to be aware of it's part of a much bigger consciousness and all that entails. And that's so different. So, I mean, I was looking at gratitude and thinking, yeah, that would be good, that's enough. You know, the song of To Everything, there is a season, and, you know, I know that's from the Bible, and that's where gratitude gets tested, that's where acceptance gets tested, that's where forgiveness gets tested, because this world was created in a way that all parts of it are impermanent. Like all distinct parts of this world come and go. And it is very hard to be thankful for that. You know, at our core, we are all in a kind of rebellion against reality. You know, that at best, we are offered like a temporary glimpse at something extraordinary for a period of time. And that's what we're offered. And we all want more or different. We want some degree of permanence, and we want more control over how it is these impermanent things come and go. We want it to be on our time and our decisions. We're constantly trying to maneuver ourselves into the center of something immense. And we're always struggling. And that is a really difficult aspect of the very nature of what it is that we're part of. You know, so you know, you think about gratitude, and little less offensive than Facebook gratitude is like Oprah gratitude, but it's still frighteningly oriented to accumulation. Like, what do I have? What have I obtained? What have I experienced? And the, you know, listening to the turn, 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 the message is that everything you have, you will lose. And everything that you have accumulated, you will have to let go of. And every thought you hold about something will have an alternative thought come in and replace it, because nothing is permanent. And nothing stays the way you or I want it to stay. You know, so to everything there is a season. And having just come from the East Coast where it was 7 degrees, seasons are tough. Just even that small, little, tiny acceptance of it's 7 degrees. And my mind immediately goes, this sucks. It sucks. Like, what the hell's wrong with this world? Making it so damned cold. I'm walking, and like, just like my sister-in-law and her husband and their children live in Connecticut. And they've been like second parents to my son, so he goes there every Thanksgiving, and when I can, I go with him. But this year, it was unusually cold. I mean, as climate change is making everything bizarre, it was the coldest like Thanksgiving in 150 years or something on the East Coast. My original flight back east was canceled because of snow, which they haven't had in 130 years. But it's cold. And so I decided to take a walk, like to prove to myself that I wasn't just a total California weenie. But what I'm getting at is even the most mild form of acceptance that to everything there is a season was met by resistance on my part. I mean, you have to look at like how stupid we all are. Like, no, sir, I mean, like, how stupid can I be? Obviously, whatever it is that created this thing created winter. Didn't consult me. Has never wanted my rating, you know, how many stars do I give it? Never. Couldn't care less. Every year creates winter. And yet I have some part of me that feels justified offering criticism. Literally, I'm telling myself as I'm walking around these blocks that this sucks. Now, at the same time, I'm aware of how idiotic that is, and how part of whatever practice that I can offer to this world of learning would be to just go out into the 7-degree weather and learn how to be okay with it. That's part of your work. You know, yeah, you can criticize it, yeah, you can say it's better if it's warm, but at some level, and deservedly so, nobody gives a shit what your opinion is of winter. But I'm offering it anyway. So the part of me and the part of you that is offering these idiotic opinions about everything not only makes us unhappy, but diminishes like the whole world's capacity to be at peace. You know, because again, I'm arguing with nature. I mean, it's one thing to argue with people who are really, you know, stupid at times of what they do. But arguing with nature, I mean, how far is that going to get me? So you know, again, to everything there is a season. We don't want that. You know, we want things to last that we like, and we want things to go away that we don't like. And we've been taught by our culture, like human connectedness, which is terrified of our lack of control. We've been taught these idiotic-based gratitude practices that are all about reminding ourselves when we got what we wanted. But they don't actually contribute much. Because simply reminding yourself that it's good that you got what you wanted contributes to the pattern that causes so much suffering. It's always wanting what you want. And if you laud yourself for getting what you want, then it's like an intermittent reinforcement that deepens the pattern of complaining and demanding all the time. And so you want to look a little deeper for acceptance and gratitude, which is that, to some degree, how lucky you are that a universe gives you the chance to be an idiot and argue with it. Like, that's a deeper gift than just getting what you want, because ultimately, and this is what the Buddhists figured out, that no matter how many times you get what you want, one day you won't. And that's tough. Like, no matter how many, like, illnesses you recover from, there'll be one you won't. And the even more startling kind of, I'm going to say horror, but I don't really know if that's what it is that, like, even the best relationship that you've ever had will end. And that's built into the to everything there is a season. Like, you will have, I mean, this is just with particular people, you might have great, deep, and profound love, but it will end. And the losing of that relationship is as much a part of the relationship as the getting of the relationship, and we don't want that. We don't want that level of to everything there is a season. We don't want that season. It's like we don't want to buy that product. Like, we want relationships to last as long as we want them to last. So if we get tired of somebody, then we're thrilled that relationships don't last, because you can discard them or they'll die or something. So that's good, because it's all about us getting what we want. What we don't like is the fact that really good relationships that we want to maintain will not last. And that's guaranteed. It's, as much as the arc goes up, it comes down. It's like, and any time we are like thrilled at the view up here, which we are, we're guaranteeing that we're not going to like the view down here. It's part of the package. That the more we do the Facebook gratitude, the harder it is at some level for our lives to be peaceful and to be satisfied. Because we're going to try so hard to get what we want, and we're not going to attribute the deeper thankfulness for it. And, you know, nobody said this was easy. And that's what underpins this all. That's the reality underneath that song. To everything there is a season, with little brackets. Nobody said this was easy. Nobody. But here's the truth. Nobody said this was easy. Nobody wants this, but here's the truth. And it's a tough truth. I remember many years ago, you know, having discussions with people as a long-haired hippie would be my guess, about the idea of karma. You know, about, and it was one of the formulators of my forgiveness work, was an understanding that, like, what we do, some part of it lasts. So if we're unkind, some part of that energy maintains until we clean it up. And if we're kind, some part of that energy maintains, and that we don't have to clean up. You know, because that's fulfilling some purpose here. But the energy of unkindness or argument or complaint, which we're all doing all the time with our opinions about everything, that negative energy stays in some form until we clean it up, or, at least my understanding, we are drawn back here to deal with that energy. You know, it's like it doesn't go away. It's just, it pulls at us until we clean it up. But we don't want that either. Like, we don't want to clean up our messes. And we don't like those rules of this is how it is. To everything there's a season. We don't want that. And there is a season for cleaning up our messes. And that appears to be one of the crucial tasks of getting older. From what I can see, is one, people finally become aware that they're making messes. You know, it's true. When you're younger, it's everybody else's fault, but as you get older, like, you recognize that I'm making the mess. And two, one of the few things that I can do before I leave this place is try to clean some of them up. And that's a very important part of wisdom. You know, I have a friend who is a bit older than I am, but he's turning 68, and he's a curmudgeon-y kind of guy. And we've been friends for a long time. I mean, but as he retired and as he's reflected more on aging, I've seen his evolution in certain ways from, like, people have hurt me, they've disappointed me, and I have to protect myself, to, wow, I don't want to hurt anybody. Like, I don't want to hurt anybody. And his shift is moving from what's been done to me to how can I clean it up? Which means I don't want to hurt anybody. And I do not want to contribute to unkindness. But I believe that that's a package. Like that's part of this to everything there is a season. That this life is not meant to be easy or simple, and things are going to trigger us, and people are going to hurt us, and many things are going to disappoint us, and we're going to suffer, and we're going to create negativity, and we're going to be part of the whole package of argument and grief. And then at some point we recognize that we have to clean it up. That it's not like you're cleaning up the past, but you're recognizing that it's a package. It's the yin and yang. It's the to everything there's a season. There's a part of wholeness to it that we need to add to, which is it's my mess. You know, even if I had terrible parents, I complained about them for 20 years. I need to clean that up. Even if my partner lied to me, even if my partner did this, well, if I'm still saying anything bad about them, I need to clean it up. It's that something inside of us that recognizes like the fullness of it, that it's not just what has worked for us, and it's not just how we have benefited here, and it's not just what good has come to us, which is the fake Facebook gratitude. It's a bigger thing. It's, of course we were hurt, of course bad things happen. That's built into the fabric. Of course everybody dies, of course people leave and disappoint. That's all part of it. But I have the responsibility to clean up what I can about what I did. And that to me, again, you know, I don't, how do I put it? I don't give any thought to what I'm going to say before I stand up here. I'm just letting you know I never, not never, but very rarely do I visit in any way anything before I stand up here. Sometimes if I'm giving a talk and there's like 1,000 people in the room, I may try to think a little bit because like there's so many people that I can't feel the energy which I can feel in a smaller room, so I have to have some ideas. But generally, but what came to me as I was standing up here listening to gratitude and the song and thinking about acceptance is that's the purpose of acceptance. Is, you know, part of it is a full acknowledgement of a gratitude for what we've gotten, but also an acknowledgement of how much we haven't gotten, which is the fullness of it, and a deep acceptance of the fact that both of those are built into the system. Both getting what we want and not getting what we want are both part of this. There's no, you don't get one or the other, and you know, until you croak, you get them both. But that acceptance piece, whenever we touch that, it leads us rather to complain so much about it, but to simply try to clean up our mess. That because it was built into the system of not getting as well as getting, the system is probably better off if we can clean up or heal our own reactions to the part of it that we didn't get what we want. And from what I can see, that's one of the tasks of later in life. I don't know how later, but later, that we can, you know, start like sweeping up our little corner of the world a little bit and making it nice for whomever it is that comes next. It's like we're getting ready to leave the hotel, And instead of just leaving it for the cleaning staff and we leave a mess, we try to make it nice. Anyway, thank you again for inviting me, and it's just nice to come here. Thank you.